What's up, you guys? We're back. It is episode 8. We got into some playoff talk, playoff fits. We showed another colored bubbles, round 2, the smoke version coming out this summer. We also got into the Micah Hyde softball jerseys that we did a couple years back.
Eastern Western Conference Finals are going on right now. We talked a lot about who we think is going to win, who we think is going to advance and move on to the Cup final. It's a good episode. Tune in.
Enjoy.
Welcome back to another episode of the DISHIN podcast. I think this is episode what? 8? Welcome. We are here. Before we get into anything, I feel like, and I think this is something we should bring up to the people that watch, listen to the clips, YouTube videos, whatever. Our record schedule is really weird. So I feel like when a lot of our episodes go out, it like ends up being like a week or two after we record. So like some topics we talk about aren't always like as relevant, but like they're still funny hot takes, I feel like, at the end of the day. So
yeah, for sure. We're trying to get in a better groove of releasing episodes like at a consistent time and maybe even like during the week too. So we'll be better. We'll be better at that.
Yeah, we'll be good. I mean, like we kind of like messed up too though, because like just again, we record, it takes like we're just a little backlogged right now, but I think like once we kind of keep getting clips out, whatever, you know, we'll be good to go. But I think we got to get some clips out from episode 7. We've got to get that episode actually went out today. So once all those clips go out, I feel like we'll be back on track.
Yeah,
just to kind of get into it. I mean, playoff hockey, man. We are in the Western and Eastern Conference Finals now.
Let's go.
What a run.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. Fun to watch. I mean, just thinking about where we are right now. We had Game 7 last night, Vancouver, Edmonton. What a game that was.
Yeah. We missed about half that game because we had roller last night. But when I got home, I watched that third period. I think Vancouver had like 16 shots on net going into the third period. And I think it was still like that about 10 to 15 minutes into that ththird period, which is crazy.
Yeah. I know, and Vancouver had a late surge too. McDavid, I mean, that's just kind of how it is in playoffs. Guys get sticky on him, and it's hard for him to break free. They kind of double teaming him, but yeah, I'm excited for him going to the Western Conference Finals, and man, can you imagine him going to the Cup final? I think that'd be something. So
I know, I feel like it's his time too. Like after that game, he seemed so fired up for it, and I was a little nervous though. Vancouver came back, and they almost came back. They scored 2. I wouldn't say like 2 quick ones, but yeah, I'd say like 2 quick ones actually. And both fan bases too are unbelievable. I saw a clip. When Edmonton was in the lead, I think going into the third period, they showed how like the whole Edmonton arena was packed.
Yeah,
when they were watching the game.
Dude, I love the Edmonton anthem. Have you seen how they do that? Like in the stands, the anthem guys like in the crowd.
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah.
So he starts it off. He does like the first few seconds, and then the crowd takes over, and it's so cool. I mean, Edmonton just seems like a really sick place to play. Yeah,
and even like obviously like credit to Vancouver, they had such a sick year too. I never really paid attention to this until this year, but Quinn Hughes, man, is such a sick skater. I never really like paid close attention to him until playoffs, and man, like the things he can do with the puck at his size and just create time and space is just unbelievable. Like I think if you watch the game, that Game 7, like I think the last like 3 minutes of that game, he was out on the ice for a solid like minute and a half to 2 minutes, still motoring.
He's a game breaker.
Yeah,
I see a lot of traits similar to Cal McCarr in his game, and somebody that can just like take over a game. They can take the puck, rush it end to end, and just like change the complete dynamic and pace of play too. So yeah, he's fun to watch. And JT Miller's another dude in Vancouver I like to watch too. But yeah, tough to see Vancouver go down, but I'm really excited for Edmonton, and I'm excited for the East too. The East matchup's going to be great.
The East, but to bring it back a little bit too, like for McCarr, for example, that Dallas-Colorado series was a good series to watch too. I really feel for the Colorado fans and like that team, because they've got a pretty solid team over there. Obviously came up short, but I really liked watching McKinnon this year. McKinnon, McCarr, and then also seeing Middlestat go there. Middlestat had a decent playoff, I'd say. Like this was his first time actually playing an NHL playoff, so that was cool to see. And I think he had, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think he had maybe like 1 or 2 goals throughout one of the series. So
yeah, he played well. Good for him to get some playoff experience under his belt, and I'm sure he feels comfortable where he's at right now, playing with with guys like McKinnon and some other players around him that are really dynamic players that already have good playoff experience. And yeah, hopefully he can keep it going. And it's been, like we've touched on in prior episodes, it's been fun to really follow his growth and development, especially as of lately. So yeah, Colorado is I thought they were going to win that series, but credit to Dallas.
Yeah, man, Dallas. I mean, they're back in it, man. They're back in it. But you mentioned the East a little bit. What were you gonna? Before I didn't mean to cut you off there. But
no, you're good. Yeah, I'm really excited about that matchup. I mean, I follow the West. Like I watch those late games too, but I'm really cued in on the East matchups, like Rangers, Panthers. Those are a couple teams I was pulling for from the jump. I feel like they're two similar teams in their own ways, but I mean, they both play a gritty style. They have, some different guys, like a couple guys I like to watch are obviously Kachuk and Trocheck on the other side. So that's gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna be cued into that one the whole way.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. I mean, I think either way, whether Boston won that series or Florida won that series, if Boston would have won, Boston versus Rangers Eastern Conference would have been so sick. And also credit to I brought up Boston a lot on the last episode, but credit to them, man. Like Pete Blackburn actually said this on an Instagram story. He said something along the lines of, like, after they lost that game to Florida, and I think it was Game 7. He said, like, they really kind of shocked him. Like he underestimated them a little bit, and he was happy to see that they made it that far. And credit to them, man. I mean, they had a rough go last year in playoffs, and at least they kind of went the distance in this series. And they're just a fun team to watch all year round, and especially in playoffs. It was exciting hockey to watch for sure.
You get this late in a hockey season and your body is just like deteriorating. It's just like, we saw it with Kachuk last year. He like made it all the way to the finals, broke his collarbone, and then like you play hockey for an additional 2 or 3 months, and then to get there, and I think you're just so exhausted, your body's worn down, and to get there and lose is even tougher. So I'm really pulling for the Panthers. They're probably my team that I would love to see win the cup, especially for Kachuk, Sherwood bump.
Yep.
Always going to be a Sherwood guy in the playoffs and this time of year with hockey. So excited for the Rangers in the Florida New York series. That's going to be a good one, and yeah, I'm excited to see who comes out of it. It's going to be a fun one.
I know, and that fan base in New York too is so electric. I mean, like after they score, whoa!
You going to one of those or what?
Hey, dude, I don't know, man. I actually went to a game at Madison Square Garden like probably 2 or 3 years ago. Adam and I actually went. Mm-hmm. This was the first game that Adam and I went to.
That's
and
sick.
Dude, I remember when they scored, like Panarin scored, and I went nuts because I'm like, this is so electric. This is like, it's a regular season game in January, and we're celebrating like we just won the Stanley Cup after every goal. This is amazing. Like I remember Adam's got like chicken fingers and stuff. He's like trying to eat his food or whatever. And I'm going nuts. I'm like, dude, you got to get up and you got to be a part of this, bro. So like I think after like the second or third goal that the Rangers scored, he finally got into it. But it was funny because like anybody that knows Adam and who has seen him, I'm sure he's been in some of our content. Like he's more of a quiet guy. He's not. When we get him around the game a little bit, he opens up a little bit. And,
yeah.
It was fun. But yeah, dude, the Rangers, I don't know, that's gonna be a fun series to watch for sure.
Especially MSG. There should be playoff hockey at MSG this time of year. I've never been to a Rangers game, only a Knicks game. Went to a game last year, but yeah, I'd love to get out there for a Rangers game. That'd be sick.
Yeah, dude, the Rangers. I'm excited for that series. I think I'm more excited to watch that series than I am to watch Dallas Edmonton. Even though like McDavid's, that I think that first time in the Western Conference, I just think it's going to be a very gritty matchup between those two teams. Like Florida's already been in it. They've gone through so much adversity, through last year's playoffs, and I think they're just like, and Chuck said this in an interview too. He said something along the lines of they were so dialed in this year when they went to training camp because they knew the feeling that they had from losing to Vegas in the Cup final last year, that it kept them dialed. And I don't know, it's going to be fun to see who really comes out on top and goes to the final.
Mm-hmm. I know, and that experience pays dividends, man. When you get to that point, it's there's only 2 teams left. The entire world is watching you, so I think that fuels a little bit of energy too. And yeah, I think once you get that taste a little bit too, it's hard to not try to get back there as hard as you can, and especially with pretty much the same team they have too. It's I'm pulling for him. I'm excited for him.
Yeah. So and kind of like let's get into this too. Who do you want to see win the Western Conference Final?
Edmonton.
Edmonton.
Sure. I have no interest in Dallas. Like they're cool, but like I don't nobody on their team really like pops off at me and is like exciting for me to watch. I feel like Edmonton. I feel like they have I don't know. They have more of a history, more of a story. Maybe I just have a vengeance against Dallas from '99, but
yeah,
I
think
nothing really like sticks out to me there.
I'm the same way. I'm gonna have to go with Edmonton too. I think it's McDavid's time. I think their whole team had a special year. Even you had Hyman scoring, hitting that 50 goal mark. Draisaitl. You had McDavid. Like those guys, just a very special core group there. And I think that it's their time now. And McDavid, I feel like, has really kind of shown that he's starting to become he's been a veteran player now, but he's really, he's been in these moments, in these situations, and I think he's more than ready for it now than he ever was before. So I'm excited. I'm going to say Edmonton too. I think maybe in like another episode or two we can kind of refer back to this and see who won. I think that'll be fun to look back on.
For sure. Yeah.
So Eastern Conference. That's a tough one, man. We got our Sherwood guy. It's tough, man. I don't know.
I'm Florida all the way. I mean, as sick it is for the Rangers to be there too with MSG and everything, I'm still pulling for the Panthers.
Our Sherwood fam's gonna hate.
Have they won a cup yet? They won one. Florida. I feel like they've won a cup. Maybe one cup.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess while Derek's checking that out real quick for us, I'm gonna. Because I had agreed with you in the West, I'm gonna have to say Rangers for this one. And here's my thing with the Rangers.
Wow.
So
even better.
Confirm.
2 conference championships, no Stanley Cups.
Okay, so 2 conference championships for Florida, no Stanley Cups for Florida. But I'm gonna have to go with the Rangers on this one. And the reason I say that is because I feel like they always find a way. Like I think they lost like two in a row to Carolina, and they've had a hell of a run throughout this whole playoff, throughout all the playoffs this year. But they seem to have a group that finds an extra gear in some capacity. So I think it might go to the distance too. I'm not saying that the Rangers are going to come in and sweep. I'm not saying that at all. I think Florida they're 2 very solid teams. So I think it's just going to be interesting to see who comes out on top, but I feel like the Rangers have like really proven that they just find a way. But I think it's going to go to the distance for sure. I would say it's going to go to 7 games, and I'll have to pick Rangers just because we can't be picking the same.
Let's see. Let us know who you think.
Yeah.
Who you think?
But yeah, I mean that's kind of all I had for playoffs. I mean, what do you got?
I think we got to show some love to the Bandits.
Back-to-back
champions, man. Yeah. Shout out Dane Smith.
Let's go Bandits.
Yeah.
Defense.
Low-key a dynasty building in Buffalo with the Bandits.
Yeah, dude, for real. Solid group of guys, too. Derek, who is producing the show right now, is also the producer for the Dana Josh show, and he's been doing that now for 2 seasons. And he's gotten to know Dana and Josh pretty well. Super cool dudes. I'm fortunate enough to kind of help out on that production, and it's fun, man. They're a good group of guys. I'm super happy for them. They're great guys on and off the field there, or the box, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, super stoked for them. I think it's great for the city too. Kind of boost morale a little bit around here. The weather's nice too. It was cool to see just people out in the streets and just celebrating and things like that. People are fired up.
Yeah, for sure. Ian McKay, you're a really good player for the Bandits. He came to our New Era release and copped a hat and hung out with the boys for a little bit, so that was really cool. Talked to Dane a little bit here and there on social. He's a really good dude, and yeah, you said it with Derek running the show. That's really cool. It's a cool nod to him and all those guys in the Bandits too. It's pretty cool to see what they're doing and what they're building here.
For sure, yeah, and I mean they've got even like the creative team over there too. Like they've got Derek has worked pretty closely with them, and they're an awesome group to work with. I'm super happy for not only the players but all the employees there too, because they put a lot of time and effort into just making people want to be there and really showcasing what that experience like going to a Bandits game is like. I mean, dude, there's been times where I've been in that arena at a Bandits game and it's louder in there than it is for a Buffalo game.
No doubt. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's the atmosphere at a Bandits game is just different, and to hear the goal horn go off like 13, 15 times a game is wild too.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think didn't I go? I think I went to a game with you in Rochester. Did I go to a lacrosse
I
game
haven't
with
been
you
to
in
a Nighthawks
Rochester?
game in a while. Did we go to?
Oh
an
no, you know what? I went with it was my old billet family. They came. They had a family member that was playing for the Bandits at the time, or they had I think it was a family friend that playing for the Bandits. They were coming into town, and they're like, "We're coming to pick you up. We're going to Rochester. Go watch the Bandits play the team in Rochester." So there was way more Bandits fans in Rochester than.
Really?
Yeah, it was insane. Wow. It was insane. But they were all in one section though. Obviously behind the Bandits bench.
One of the coolest logos in pro sports. Yeah,
I'd
the
say
Bandits
that.
logo.
Yeah.
They gotta switch those jerseys though back, man. They gotta go back to the old like original Bandit logo. They got the word mark going right now, which is sick. But hey, maybe it's working for them. But yeah, I just love the OG the Bandit Land logo.
Yeah.
Sick.
But Bandits back-to-back champs. Congrats, boys. You guys earned it. You guys deserve it, and we're stoked for you over here.
Hell yeah.
So yeah. So we want to get into the show and tell here. I think we got a couple things here.
DISHIN show and tell.
Dun, 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 dun,
Need
dun,
that
dun,
graphic.
dun,
Let's get that
dun,
graphic going.
Bam,
Bang.
bam, bam. I sound like Andy Champs from Wet Jeans. This version or segment of the show is sponsored by blank, because we don't have a sponsor for this yet, but we're gonna have a
Skate
sponsor. Yeah, Skate Skins. Skate Skins will be the sponsor for this. So, I guess because I'm sure we got some new followers here between like the DISHIN page, the DISHIN podcast page. We've been doing this for over 6 years now together, as a group, which is crazy to think about. I was actually talking about this with Derek 5 years ago. We were approached super randomly. I remember I was in college. Derek had just gotten out of college. Matt, you were still at your full-time job. Ben, I think, had just moved to Buffalo at the time. We had gotten approached to design and manufacture jerseys for Micah Hyde's charity softball game. And for those who don't know who Micah Hyde is, Micah Hyde plays for the Buffalo Bills, or played for them. He's not signed to just yet, but hopefully he'll sign again. But he puts on the charity softball game every year, and it's great. It's great for the community. It's a way to give back, and it's nice because it's kind of right. It's right around the springtime. But we had the opportunity to design and manufacture those. So behind me we have the jersey that Matt absolutely crushed the design.
Was that the
inaugural?
inaugural? Did we do the first ones ever?
No. Well, so this was technically, I think, his second year doing this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sick. Yeah. So this is a really cool project for us. I think this is one of the, like, when we were first getting started, I think this was one of the largest orders we ever had, and obviously for one highly notable and high profile client too. So yeah, to be able to work with Micah and his team and some of the different charity organizations and foundations that he works with too to help bring these to life, and yeah, it's sick. We designed and manufactured these from scratch. If you guys can see this, like, the quality is really nice. It's a bit of a heavier duty double mesh layer jersey. Really nice stuff, and I feel like it really allowed us to stretch our reach a little bit with what we do with jersey manufacturing and whatnot. So yeah, really dope jersey, really something we made from the start, and kind of really was a springboard for us to start doing more designing and manufacturing of jersey work, and kind of helped our relationship with other companies around Buffalo grow. That's how we got to know Wester, Matt Lasher and Brad and their team really well, and kind of set it up from there. It was like I said, something that was a huge project for us when we first got going, and to think about now where Mike is at with his softball tournament and having the Bills involved, and obviously everybody that comes out every year and supports, and they had it over the weekend, which looked like a really fun event.
Yeah, and the reason I kind of bring that up too is because that happened this past weekend, a day after the Bandits won their second championship in a row. But yeah, it was super cool. The event's grown every year. I remember when we did it the first year, we didn't really even know what to expect. We weren't really sure like what attendance was going to be like, and I think that whole lower bowl in Salem Field where the Buffalo Bisons play was filled, and we were like in awe of it. And this was also around the time too where the Bills had just started getting getting better. Josh Allen was starting to kind of come into his own, like slowly a little bit, but like he wasn't the star that he was right away. So it was cool for us to, like Matt was saying, just like, you know, get involved and be around those players, build relationships with different businesses and things like that. And it was just a really great community event, but it also ultimately led us to doing a lot of other things, and we're super grateful for that. And but yeah, we got to work that event on the content side this year, which was super dope. We had the whole Legacy House team there pretty much handling live social content, and then Josh was doing a recap of the event. So super cool to have everybody involved. I know some guys at on the Legacy House team didn't really know what to expect, and I remember Derek and I were telling them like, "Yo, there's gonna be a lot of people here. There's gonna be a lot of Bills fans. It's gonna be a great event. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of running around. It's gonna be very hectic, but it's gonna be a really fun day."
Yeah, you guys crushed on the content too. All those videos look sick, and it was cool to see them from different angles. Like some guys were on the field. Derek, I know you're shooting like up top, which got some really cool shots up there, like of the celebration and win and everything too. So it was dope to see like you guys all kind of like scattered around the whole stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beautiful day. I wish I could have been there. I wasn't there. But yeah, it was. It's been cool to see like the growth of that whole game, and you know, knowing Micah too. And even though he's not like you said, not signed to the team right now, it's something where he's really able to bring the community together, bring all these players out here and support a great cause, a great foundation, and really get people amped up and excited for the Bills when they come back in September.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. You can just tell how tight that group was. I mean, you had like Jordan Poyer, who's now signed to Miami and playing for Miami this year. He came into town and played and was a part of everything, and he got a standing ovation. Like everybody was like fired up for him to be there, and people were asking him, we want you to come back, and it was just it was cool, man. Like Bills Mafia in general is just like, they are about the Bills. They love the Bills. Anything Bills related, if they'll show up, they'll show out, and the place was packed. It was an incredible experience, and grew a lot since even we did it. It was pretty crazy. They shut down all of Oak Street too. They had a whole like fan experience. I don't know if they did that the year we did the jerseys, but they had a whole fan experience where they shut down like half of Oak Street, and they had like all these different like local vendors coming in. They had local businesses, so like they're just providing like a community experience, which is great. I think it's needed down here. Yeah. And it was just a really good time. Good day for it too, to be in the city.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when we did the jerseys for the Micah Hyde event, one iconic moment from that game was Josh chugged a beer on the field and then threw it. And, somebody got some crazy shots of that. I can't remember who it was, whether it was Kroom or Josh or no, it was Eric Fan.
It was Eric Fan.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was Eric Fan. Yeah. But there's a cool like little time lapse video of the photos of Josh chugging a beer and then throwing it. And this is young Josh. This is like a baby Josh too. So yeah, you said it, like him kind of when he was kind of first breaking into the league and into the team, he might have been a rookie or second year player. So I mean, a dope experience for us. Again, like a milestone in our brand, I would say, to be able to have the confidence and the trust from a Bills player like that, for us to be able to design and manufacture those jerseys from scratch. And we have some old YouTube videos on our page of like us getting those jerseys in like a day before the game, like going through counting them, making sure all the names and numbers, sizing, everything was correct too. And yeah, to fast forward and think about where we are right now, and that they hired you guys to go through and shoot that entire thing is, I think, a nod to you guys and to the brand, and a lot more to come from that too.
Appreciate that. And like, again, I was still in college when we did that. You were still your full-time job, and looking back on it, it was crazy to trust. Like, I think we were 23, 24 years old at the time. Like, it was crazy that like they like actually, I mean, we got it done, but like it was just crazy looking back on and seeing that and being like, oh, like they trusted a group of 24-year-olds to just like design and produce these jerseys in a matter of 2 weeks. Because even like I remember getting the call and like 2 or 3 weeks prior to the event saying that they needed over 100 jerseys for this. I mean, you did, like, you put the order in, so you probably know the number to be exact of how many jerseys.
That seems so long ago.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was just like we said, it was like our big project. But yeah, 26 Shirts did the jerseys this year. I saw they crushed them. They did a really cool Bills theme design. Looked really nice. A lot of cut and sew with the tackle twill on the numbers and everything too. So did a great job with that, and it's been cool to see that event grow. I know the Bills are involved now, and it's only up from here. I mean, it's really cool. Like I've always thought about that too. I've always wanted to I don't even know if this is possible, like to rent out the Bison Stadium for a night and just do like a DISHIN like wiffle ball game or like a softball game on our own. That'd be sick. Like under the lights and shit too. That'd be sick.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
We got some other things for show and tell. This is a little giving you guys a little more show and tell stuff. I think you had a few things you wanted to chat about.
Yeah. I want to say shout out to CCM for sending us these FT6 Pros. Noah, his team, Lucas, sent these skates over to us. These are so sick. Just got them baked and had to throw some laces in there through the yellow laces. Thought they were a little bit of a nod to Ovi there. But, yeah, these skates are so nice, man. They're so comfortable. The tongues are really dope. It's it's a really I don't know, it feels like a Tempur-Pedic. Yeah. It's sick. But, yeah, I can't wait for our next game. I'm definitely gonna throw these on and spin around with them. I'm sure these are gonna be my new full-time skates, so I'm excited about them. And again, thanks to Noah and entire CCM team for sending these to us, and can't wait to test them out, take them for a spin.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. I mean, this is gonna be my first time actually wearing CCM skates, so I'm looking forward to it. I still gotta get them baked, but as soon as I get those baked, I am putting those bad boys on because I haven't had a new pair of skates in probably 5 years.
Yeah.
So.
Gavin at Pure, if you're watching this, really took great care of me, helping me out with this. I can't remember the last time I got new skates and got them baked. So talked to him for quite a while, and he got me all hooked up, telling me all about the specs and everything on them too. So Gavin, appreciate you. But yeah, again, thank you to CCM. These are super dope.
While we're on the subject of giving, I feel like now we're giving shout outs to people.
I want to say one more shout out.
I have a shout out.
I had a kid. No, I was walking into Pure, and this kid looked me up and down and looked at his dad, and he's like, that kid's on that podcast. I'm like, damn, dude, if you know me from a podcast, that's crazy because we've only been doing 8 of these.
I know, it's wild.
But I said what up to him, and then he walked outside, and then he was looking at his phone, and he was looking up at me and the glass, and I waved to him, and he smiled and laughed, and I could tell he was talking to his dad, but that was cool. So hey, if you're watching this, then it was good seeing you, and more of that.
Yeah,
right?
More of that for sure, dude. And speaking of that, I feel like the podcast, even though the YouTube numbers might not show it, I feel like the clips kind of some clips go crazier than others. Others don't really get a lot of love, whatever. But regardless, I think the pod is slowly starting to pick up steam, and I feel like we're getting more of that. I had a kid, his name was Lucas, and he was at the Micah Hyde game. The Micah Hyde Charity Softball game. He came up to me and said he was a follower and stuff like that, and he's been watching the podcast and loves it. So, Lucas, shout out to you. It was nice meeting you. We talked for quite a while. Super cool kid. Very interested in content creation, photography, and videography. So, it's cool to see that this podcast is kind of inspiring younger kids to kind of get into that space. I think the sky's kind of the limit, as we can kind of see now with the internet and things like that. I mean, we have cameras on our phones. You can go buy a camera. You got GoPros and things like that. So it's just cool to be able to inspire other people to make content through this platform. So if, for those of you guys who have tuned in and watched, thank you. Seriously. I feel like we kind of got a little fired up, I think, yesterday talking in the car about you telling me that story. And then I told you what my story on here. And it just, it motivates us to want to actually, record, because sometimes it's hard to get in front of a camera some days to record. We've got a million things going on in our work and, personal lives. And, but, we're grateful to be able to do this on a daily basis and, hopefully bring you guys some sort of entertainment value and things like that, and inspire you guys as well. So
yeah, well said.
But yeah, let's you have any more shout outs, or are we good? Derek, you got any shout outs?
No, I think we're good.
No?
We're
Okay. Other show and tell item, I think you had one more from Colored Bubbles.
Oh yeah, we talked about color bubbles last week. We're gonna try and show you guys a new bubble every week to kind of showcase the brand launch a little bit here. This is one that has been a personal favorite to a lot of people. It's the stealth version. We call it the smoke version.
Can I see that?
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, you want to throw it on, pop it on, check it out. It's It's got some nice features to it. It's not super dark. It's something you can. It adds a nice tint to it. It's really clean. Love it. Same style as the other chrome one, but this one's just a little bit more sleek. Fits on the helmet really nice. Easy strap up there, and yeah, this is a sick one. So yeah, every week we're gonna try and showcase a new one. We'll see what color one we have next week to show off. But yeah, again, you look great.
Thanks, dude. I like this. This is like one of those bubbles that if I was playing outside, or this is something I'd like to wear either in pond hockey or like if I'm playing roller hockey at like a Riverworks or something, I'd wear it for that. But also even inside too, because some rinks like lighting is like so hit or miss. Like some lighting is like not very good, and like but most rinks I feel like are starting to be a little bit better with proper lighting. So I'd rock this for sure.
Mm-hmm. For sure, man. It looks dope. Yeah, and it's it's dark. It's not crazy dark when you're looking through it. It's something where you can you still have good visibility, and I think this one's gonna be really popular. So yeah, again, this is a part of the Colored Bubbles line. This is our smoke model, debuting sometime this summer. So let us know what you guys think. If this is something you guys think is cool, something you would rock, and maybe you have someone else that you think would rock it. So feel free to share it with them and let us know your thoughts. I want to throw this on too.
Yeah, it is super clean. I like that. Like that one is definitely a little bit easier to see out of than the one from the last episode, but I think it's easier to see because there's obviously like a little less tint to it, whereas like the other one had a bit of a mirror tint to it. But I know that's in the works of keeping these very visible. Like that's something that's like super important here to you just developing these. But yeah dude, they're sick, man. I think, in a couple of years, people might be chirping now, but I don't know. I think this is going to be the new norm soon in hockey.
Yeah. We had a kid come in here last week. The kid was just a walk-in kid, just kind of shopping, checking it out the store and stuff. And he wanted to buy the sample right off the shelf.
Oh,
dude.
really?
Yeah. And I was, and he wanted to buy this one. I was like, it's soon they will be available. So yeah, excited. There's been great feedback around this brand already, and we're excited about it. And again, we talked about this a little bit before, but something that's going to be really similar to the Skate Skins brand and how we launch and roll that out with different colored products and everything too. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, definitely exciting. And even too, like showcasing visors too a little bit, I think is going to be a fun one too, because not everybody wants to wear a bubble. I'm going to wear a bubble because I lost a tooth wearing a visor, and I'm not going through that hellhole again. If you play hockey and you're not playing like junior or anything, just I would wear a full face shield. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Is there anything you want to touch on here as we kind of slowly wrap up?
We talked about this a little bit last week. I think we announced it for the first time. We're hosting a bubble hockey tournament on July 13th at 166 Chandler Street, downtown Buffalo at the Rift City building. Going to be a really dope event. We're going to have the announcement on Tuesday. So next Tuesday will be the day after Memorial Day. Derek's been doing a lot of great shit behind the scenes, getting it all ready. So we're really excited about this. It's going to be a partnership between us, Super Check, and Smolder Society. So look for more details coming on that soon. We just did the press release, so we'll have that up on the website when everything goes live. But we're going to have the announcement video coming next week. So by the time this drops, it'll probably be right around then. And again, that video is so nasty. So that video is going to be live soon. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions after that goes live about when is registration, what are the times of the event, who's going to be there. So we'll have all that and more. We're going to have some really cool player guest appearances, some cool hosts, and different people a part of the event. So again, if you want to be a part of it and want to volunteer, we're hiring paid volunteers right now. So feel free to reach out to us and get in contact, get involved. And again, this is going to be a really sick event. We followed some different Super Checks bubble hockey tournaments across the country this year. We're following a similar model to that. And we're gonna run it like we've run events in the past, where we've had some esports events that we've done that have been great for us, and really excited about this one because a lot of people play bubble hockey. It's a traditional foundational root within hockey itself, and a lot of people play, and we've talked about this a little bit before, but it's like an underground community within the sport itself. So really excited about it. Bubble hockey tournament coming July 13th. and the video will be announced right around the time that we drop this episode.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got. I think we're pretty good to go here. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you are on YouTube, do us a huge favor. Even if you're not super active on YouTube, please feel to subscribe, like this video, and yeah, we would appreciate it. And as always, we appreciate the support and you guys tuning in. So we will see you on the next one, episode 8.